So, so today what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn how to monitor the system. Basically, how can we check the logs and how can we make sure what is going on this computer. And let's say if somebody, somebody might uh, give you a call and they're trying to SSH to this box, but you cannot get access. And how can you make sure that user guy, that guy permissions is there, that user public key on the system? Like, how can you monitor that? If let's say 100 people have access to this computer right now, and somebody is installing something or somebody is doing some operations, and how will you know the people are working on this computer or people are doing something? Okay, how can we do that? So there are some default file systems in this computer. File systems nothing but like a folders, you can call it as a folder, default folder. And your Windows machine is the same thing. So you know how when you install Windows operating system on your computer, you will see documents, downloads, desktops. How you can see it? So they can create a folders, they can create a documents folder, and they can create a downloads folder, and they can create a desktop folder, and they can take backup nothing but AMI, Amazon Machine Image, or backup of that server. That means snapshot of that server, and they can use that snapshot to create operating system, so that all the details, the folders will go to that operating system. When you install them, you will see them. We will talk about that backup in a minute. Okay, very soon we'll talk about that backup and how we can back up a system basically. So like that, Linux will have some default folders, and like a hidden files in Windows computer, like these are the hidden softwares, and those should be present on the computer in order to operating system work properly, right? Same like that, there are some hidden folders only operated by admin. Basically, only admin can access those files. Okay, let me check what are those files basically. So we don't have any files. Okay, but if I do var, right, let's say there is some folder actually, //var and a /etc and a /user bin. So these are the some default file systems which will only the root user can access them basically. Okay, and if I do like I said, if I do ls, I cannot see anything. Those are the hidden folders. Okay, only root user can access those folder basically. Now let's see how we can monitor the system. Okay, there is a default folder called var. Inside that var, you will have all these folders: mail, nis, opt, run, preserve, whatever. These are all like you don't need to remember anything. I don't need to remember anything. All I need to know, just go to var folder. Okay, all I just did, use tab, and it's already there. Okay, now you see that log folder. You see there is a log folder, log. That's where each and every activity of the system will be logged. Okay, each and every activity of the system will be logged in this log folder. Let's do ls. So in this ls, what you can see Amazon, audit logs, cronny. Okay, let's see cat cronny. What's in there? Cronny is a directory. So go to cronny. Okay, let's do ls. So we don't have anything. Cronny, we don't have anything there. Nothing happened with the cronny. Okay, let's go one step behind. Cat yum log. Okay, I don't have anything, right? In the yum log, I don't have anything because there is nothing happened with the yum. You see that? I don't have anything. Nothing happened with the yum. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open one more tab. Okay. Okay. That's fine. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this again. Okay. Connect here. Now I'm connected to that computer. I'm going to install something. Sudo yum install. What we can install? Let's install Git. Okay. Now I'm installing Git, right? Let's go here. Cat. What you will see? Something happened, right? Okay. You see that? Installed Git, installed Perl, because these are all prerequisites. You don't need to remember. In order to work Git properly, these are all prerequisites that are need to install on this computer. You see that this is a 8664, that means 8086 architecture with a 64-bit. That's what it means. But we don't need to remember all these details. But we are talking about logs, right? Yum log. So that's how we can monitor. We can check the logs basically. Okay. And if I do last log, let's say there is nothing over there. Okay. Did you guys understand this? Like the yum log. And if I install one more thing, if I install like a sudo yum install java 1.8 start. Yes. Let's go here. Let's monitor again. You see that? So Java packages are being installed. These are all prerequisites that are being installed. Okay. And the people will ask, hey, so this yum log, for example, this yum log is full. And so when we create this operating system, right? And we took 8 GB RAM, for example, right? We created this machine with 8 GB RAM. Each and every file system will be allocated some memory. Okay. And this memory is completed. This memory is full. For example, a lot of people installing prerequisites. They're installing Java packages. They're installing Python packages, Node.js packages. They're installing applications, and this yum folder is full. Now you cannot able to install anything because it is full. For example, you cannot able to work on any cron job. You cannot create any cron job because your cron job is, this file system is full. That means, for example, it's a 1 GB memory allocated to this cron job, or 1 GB memory allocated to this yum log, and that 1 GB is completed. So what you are going to do now? How can you troubleshoot, Vishnu? Okay, yeah, that is fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a backup of this yum log. Okay. CP, for example, simple yum log to Vishnu underscore backup. Okay. Vishnu underscore backup. Now I can check Vishnu underscore backup. Okay, I have all the logs. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to empty this server. So I'll have 1 GB hey, why would you want to take a backup, right? For future references.
So you created folder before Vishnu, I mean backup folder you created, or
That's
simply we
just,
need to say cpm.log?
yeah, just a file. It's a file, right? I'm taking as a file, this file, right? You can create a folder and backup folder, and you can take all the backup to that folder, and this file is empty because the default file systems, when you try to do something, those logs will be logged in a default file system basically. Okay, yum is a package manager for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Amazon Linux, CentOS. Means yum will be used to install prerequisites like a packages, and that is full. Whenever you use yum, the log will look for only this specific file, and the logs will be sent to this specific file only. If there is no space available in the specific file, you can take a backup. Okay, you can take a backup from this file, and you can just empty this file, so the space will be available in this file. Okay, does that make sense?
So now you did backup in Vishnu backup folder, right? How can we check that one?
This is a file. Yeah.
Oh, it will be added here. Oh, okay. Got
yeah
it.
This is a cat. All those logs will be added to this file basically.
So before that, we need to create a file with the name, whatever you did.
Yeah, whatever you can. Yeah, just
Okay.
for future references, and you cannot, you can keep them as long as you want, but if you think like this is getting very big and you don't need 1 year logs, you know what I mean? If you think, oh, I don't need 1 year logs, like, I can keep only 6 months logs, that's fine. And you can, I can keep this file, okay, for 6 months, then I can delete it. You know what I mean? And you can create any file. Let's do messages, what we have in this messages. You see that? Can you guys see what you guys can see? This is Java installed. You see that yum Java installed. Where log messages will log everything. This log messages will log everything. Reload configuration, and if you install anything, Java installation, and starting authorization manager, and everything, it will log each and every activity of this computer. Whatever activity that you are doing, it can log everything basically. Let me try to switch the user. So
Vishnu, suppose I created a user and I added that user to V, so he will be the root user, right? So he can also access that logs, or only the root user will access that?
he can also access that log. If you are adding a user to the wheel group, means he will be a root user as well. Okay, if you are adding a user to wheel group, that means you are giving him admin access, like a root privileges, so he can also access the logs. Okay, let's see which Git. Now Git has been installed on this computer, right?
Yes.
And how many users I have in this computer? 2 users, right? Okay, now I can take backup of this computer, complete backup of this computer, and I can use that backup to create a new computer. And I should have a Git installed on that computer, and I should have this user on that computer, these users on that computer. Okay, let me create one more user. Okay. Sudo passwd. Are you guys getting me? Now let's check. This is just one more time. So the last activity, when was the last activity? It's 7:34, 22 hours. That's okay. Remember these two are very important. The log folder is very important. This is where you check the activity of this log. Basically, you check each and every activity for the computer. You will check all those details here in this log folder. Okay, and this is the location of this log folder. Where log folder? Okay, I do journal is a folder. CD journal. Cat system journal, let's say system journal. That's okay. That's okay. That is some like a hidden files basically. You don't need them actually. But it's okay. So now we will work on how to take backup. Okay. Now this is my computer, right? This is my computer with 2 users and a Git installed. Okay. Now I want to take a backup of this computer. Let's say, why would I need a backup, Vishnu? Something is crashed, right? For example, your computer is not working and something is crashed. Like, you don't want to lose your data, right? And that is why people take a backup, basically. Okay. And in order to take a backup of an EC2 instance, there are 2 ways that you can take a backups. Okay, we'll discuss one way today and we'll discuss one tomorrow. So today we are going to create an AMI. AMI is nothing but Amazon Mission Image. Image is nothing but replica of this computer. Okay. In order to create an AMI, go to Actions, Image, create an image. I can give like a Git image because I have this Git installed, right? Just for my reference. And right now, this computer is an 8 GB computer, right? Even if you want to add an extra volume, you can add extra volume as well to your AMI. But right now, 8 GB is okay. I can create an image. And the image ID will start with AMI, Amazon Mission Image. Click on that AMI. Okay. This will take a minute. Once this AMI is ready, what I'm going to do, I'm going to terminate my computer and I'm going to create new computer from the date, from this AMI. Okay. From this AMI. Maybe give me 1 minute. Are you guys getting me?
Yeah, Vishnu sir, when we created this new computer based on the old image, it will have a new IP address or old IP address.
So you will be creating an operating system with your backup. It's not going to be a computer at all. It is.
Correct. Yeah. So
Yes. So it is
My question is, let's say we create based on the new old image, like we create a new EC2 instance based on old image. When I try to log into that image, that new EC2 instance, I'll get a new IP address there. Like,
yes, you will be building a new server, new computer. So the new
Okay,
computer
okay.
will have a new IP address. Yes.
but except that, everything will be same. Like whatever I had earlier, all the users' data will be there in the new instance.
Everything will be
automatically.
same. Yes, everything will be same. Absolutely same. Only the IP address, even the IP address, right? The companies, they buy IP addresses called elastic IP addresses. That means they buy certain range of instance IPs. Let's say 172.0.0.12, 172.0.0.1000. So they are buying 1000 instance IPs. So this can be, let's say, 172.0.0.1. You took backup for that instance, and for some reasons that instance has been terminated. You can assign your IP address to your instance, basically. Okay. If you don't assign your IP address to your instance, it is gonna pick the IP from the subnet, whatever the instance IP available at the time from that subnet, and it will pick that IP address from that subnet. Did we discuss what is subnet? Did we discuss what is subnet? No?
No.
I think it is, you mentioned that last 2 digits of that IP address, like the last 3 digits, like 6 digits something.
Last 6 digits. So the IP address, the subnet is nothing but when you create your EC, not EC2, when you create your VPC, right? When you create your AWS account, right? For example, when you create an AWS account, you will be given a portion of their network. VPC, you will be given a VPC. VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud. That means a portion of AWS network. So you can compute, you can build your resources in their network. Okay. Subnet means sub networking. You will be dividing that VPC into at least 2 parts. One is public subnet and one is private subnet. The private subnet, the public subnet and a private subnet. And that is your subnet. So your VPC will have 1 million IP addresses. Networking means like a group of computers, like a networking. You have /60, for example, let me go here. It will take a minute. Let me go here, VPC, right? That's what we are talking about, right? If I go here, I will see the number of instance IPs in this subnet, in this network, basically. If I click on this, right? So what I can see in the CIDR range, CIDR section, what I can see, this one, /16, right? /16 means this is called IPv4. IPv4. 172.31.0.0/16. That means how many number of IP address? IPv4/16. Chart. If I click on this chart, how many number of IP addresses? 64,000 IP addresses, basically. So this computer, this VPC, I can provision up to 64,000 instances, 64,000 IP range. Now, what I can do, I can divide this 64,000 into minimum 2 subnets. One is public subnet and one is private subnet, a minimum 2. And you can create as many subnets as you want. You see that? So 172.31.32.0./20. 16 becomes /20, right? So /16 means 64,000 IP addresses. /20 means 4,000 IP addresses, right? You see that /20 means 4,000 IP addresses, /16 means 64,000 IP addresses. What that means is this guy created 3 separate subnets with a 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Still, how many instance IPs that I can have? So I'm
4,000.
utilizing right now only 12,000 IPs only. Still, I have a lot of like a 52,000 IPs available inside my VPC. So I can create so many subnets, and I can change the networking, this subnets range, not just 4,000. I can change it to a little bit more, or maybe 17, not 17, maybe 18. That means 16,000, 18, 18, 18. That means if I put, instead of 20, if I put 18, 18, 18, that means 16,000 range, 16,000 range, and 16,000 range. So I can have only 3 subnets inside this VPC. That means 48,000. So I can have another, 2 to 3 or 4, 5 subnets, but lower range, things like that. So VPC is nothing but, yes.
If you look at the first one, let's say take the first subnet, it is saying 172.31.32.0/20, right? So it is a range, right? It's a range, like 4,000 IP addresses in that range. So can you give me one example, like what is the second one going to be? Let's say 32.1 is second one.
Yes, this 32.0 is the first one. 32.2 is the second one, like that. Okay.
Okay, but if you do that, so 32.9 will be the last one. So how can we get 4,000 in this one?
Why would you say like a 32.9 is the last one? So you can.
Because there's only one digit, right? Only one digit. Last digit is.
So the IP address of last instance, like only one digit. Who told you that?
Because that's everything is fixed, right? 172 is fixed, 31 is fixed, 32 is fixed. So only 0 is the one where we can change it. Is it? That's what my understanding. That's what I'm not clear. How the range works.
So the range, how the range works, 1 to 4,000. That's the range works basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So you cannot have like a 4,000 or a last digit 4,000. Let's say you have 32 here, right? This 32 become 31. 31 become 30. 30 become 29. Things like that.
Okay.
That's the range basically.
Okay.
Any doubts from anybody? Let's go to our AMI. Hopefully our image will be ready. You see that this Git image, that was the image that I was trying to create, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that unnecessary image because I don't want to pay. So this backup is ready. Now let's go and terminate our instance. Just go here, instance state, terminate this instance, and go to your AMI, and in the action, select this AMI, action, launch. You see that now it is escalated to step 1. step 2, sorry, step 1 is gone. Choose AMI is gone. Because you are selecting existing AMI, not like a default AMI or whatever AMI that our Amazon people are giving. Now you bake your own AMI with the Git installed and the 2 users are there. Okay, again, same thing. Pick your instance type, review, and launch it. So I'm going to select the same key pair. I'm going to acknowledge it. And I'm going to create it. So I will click on this instance. I can give Git baseline image, something like that. Okay. And this image will be ready in a minute. So when I terminate this instance, I should lose my connection because that computer is not exist anymore, doesn't exist anymore, right? So you see that this is my computer. So now let's go here. Connect to this computer. Connect to this computer. So I'm getting an error though. Can you guys say, can you guys tell me what is the error actually? So don't log as a root user to any computer. That's what it means. So please log in as a user, EC2 user rather than the root user. That's what it means. You should log in as an EC2 user unless until you specify a specific user for your AMI. Okay, you specify like a DevOps user or Java user or admin user or sysadmin user or application name user, whatever the application name user. Unless until you specify that, but when you are using default images, you should be replacing. You're not supposed to log in as a root user. When you log in first, then you can switch as a root user, but use EC2 user rather than root user. That's what it means. Click on that. Now I'm logged into that computer. So I'm not going to install any Git, but I will check which Git. You see that Git already being installed. Let's check the users. You see that 2 users, including 3 users, including EC2 user is there. So that is a backup. Backup is nothing but Amazon mission image. Okay.
So Vishnu, do we have to pay for this too?
No. You don't pay anything.
Okay.
Answer is we need to do